Good morning on this snowy Wisconsin day. This is Caitlyn. I'm here to give you my staff picks of 2022. So I'm going to dive right in because I so far have the record of the longest video, the last, I think, 2 years running. My first pick is Fables and Spells by Adrienne Marie Brown. She's also the author of Pleasure Activism. She's an activist and writer, just all-around awesome human. So this is a collection of short stories and poetry. This is a great gift for if you have a young person in your life, or just someone who's a little fatigued by the struggles of the last few years. I picked it up one day, opened it to a random page, and I was like, great, that poem did it for me, and I bought a copy, and I'm really glad I did. So that's number one. Number two is from pretty early in the year. It's another collection of short stories called Shit Cassandra Saw by Gwen E. Kirby. This one is laugh out loud funny. There's a lot of kind of punchy, kind of feminist, funny commentary on like social commentary. I love all of the stories in this book. I've also gifted it to two friends so far who have both loved it as well. So highly recommend this one. And kind of in the vein of there's some kind of reinvented classics, and if you've followed the bookstore for a while, you know I'm a big fan of classic mythology and kind of reinventing classics. So I wanted to put in an honorable mention here, Madeline Miller's Galatea. Madeline Miller is one of my favorite authors. She wrote Circe and Song of Achilles, which Song of Achilles especially has been very, very popular this year. So this is just a very short, lovely stocking stuffer little gift. It is the story of Pygmalion, which is My Fair Lady is based on, but this is about the original myth, but it's her extra kind of biting take on that story, which I kind of devoured and really enjoyed. Next up, if you're sensing a theme, we have another collection of short stories. Read a lot of short stories and poetry this year, a few novels as well, but really my favorites were kind of the bite-sized pieces this year. So this one is called Night of the Living Res by Morgan Talty. I know Melanie really enjoyed this one as well this year. This is from a newsletter. She did a review of it earlier. So this is kind of creepy and cool short stories. Indigenous author about Indigenous characters, so getting that perspective, but also just really good writing. Really enjoyed this one, especially around fall, and it came out around kind of the spooky season, so this was a great one for that. Moving on to one of my favorite authors, Joy Harjo. She was the U.S. Poet Laureate for the past little while. So this is a collection, her new collection, called Weaving Sundown in a Scarlet Light. This is also one of Todd's picks this year. It's 50 poems for 50 years. A lot of the ones in here I had already read in previous collections, but this is a great gift for pretty much anybody. If you're having trouble finding something, introduce them to Joy Harjo if they don't know her already. And also another honorable mention that I just wanted to put along with this one, Joy also put out a collection. It's a group of essays about writing, her process. Last year I was lucky enough to go see her give a talk when she was promoting her last memoir. Such a wonderful, cool human. Can't recommend her enough. Joy Harjo. And speaking of U.S. Poet Laureates, my second to last collection of poetry for my picks is Ada Limon's The Hurting Kind. I was introduced to Ada this year. She was just named the U.S. Poet Laureate, as I said. Super thoughtful writing, very approachable, a great gift idea for yourself or others. Also just, highly recommend picking this up and taking a look. Can't say enough. Ada Limon. Now the last collection of poetry. This one was a little bit of a surprise for me this year. It is called Jordamoder. I think I'm pronouncing that right, by Ingrid Anderson. So this is actually a local author. Ingrid is a midwife, and this is a collection of poetry kind of based on her life experiences and her experiences as a midwife. But it is just a celebration of life, nature, just beautiful snapshots. So when this came in, I had obviously never heard of her because she's a pretty up-and-coming author, and I read the entire thing that day in between customers sitting at the store. So I really, highly recommend her. Okay, now we're on to some heftier novels. I know Melanie will talk about this one more, but this is one of the ones I was most excited about this year. Cormac McCarthy's The Passenger. Cormac McCarthy hasn't written a book in a little while, so I was very excited to get my hands on this one. And I will say it is strange and interesting. Maybe not as dark as some of his other writing, but still has his just trademark good plot building, and he's the master of the sparse plot. He gives you enough information to ask the right questions and figure out what's going on. But I really just kind of devoured this book. I'm still kind of pondering a lot of what's in it, and I probably will reread it at some point. The other thing that I'm excited about and is interesting about this one is that it's a 2-part novel. So this is part 1. Stella Maris, part 2, just released this past week. I haven't gotten to dig into this one yet, but I'm very excited to. And I'm really interested to see how this one rounds out Passenger. If you're looking for a gift for someone who's maybe a little harder to shop for, maybe a dad, maybe an uncle, maybe anybody, doesn't matter. Cormac McCarthy, he's great. This is a good option for that. Also, his other novels are excellent as well. I don't know what else to say about that. But I do also want to mention, so the publishers did a very smart marketing thing this season. Because the 2 books came out so close together, there's also this handy 2-book pack, which we have in the store and is available to order, which is a great gift idea for any Cormac McCarthy fans in your life. Okay, the last one I want to talk about is a little bit different than the others. It is called Our America. It's a photography book by Ken Burns. This is a really fascinating, beautiful look at our country. So it's all photographs, of course, of the United States, but one of the cool things that Ken Burns did, so they're all chronological. So there's a date at the bottom and the location where the photo was shot, and then at the back of the book it has detailed information about the context of those photos, but they're really captivating, and I was really impressed that this was a look at our country that is often not highlighted or hasn't been in the past. Just gives you a completely different sense of what was going on throughout our history. Just really lovely. So this lovely coffee table book, Our America. And that is those are my picks. for this year. There were many other good ones that didn't, I didn't want this video to be 20,000 minutes long. I hope you enjoyed and found some good inspiration, and as always, we're here to help you with any of your holiday needs or any other reading needs. Please stop by and see us.